Yeah. And it must not have been easy to ask for help, especially financial help
Mhm.
to help subsidize, support your teacher training. Could you tell us? And so, again, another instance where you sort of pushed yourself out of your comfort zone based on, what you felt, to ask for that help. Could you talk to us a little bit about, that and the struggle and how you persevered to do that? Because asking for help, it's a lot harder. I know I struggle with it, I have a lot to learn from you and others in that regard.
Yeah. I feel like a little bit of my, being so sick and asking for help already had kind of prepared me a little bit to then go ask for, a large
Mm,
financial amount from other people. Um, yeah, that is super uncomfortable of just like, yeah, will you support me to go do something that's for me, and, but really tried to help myself see that this just wasn't for me. Like, what I wanted to do was to then go serve other people and help them connect back with their body in a way
yeah.
that, this was teaching me how to do. Um, and offer it into the communities that people were in. And so I made it in such a way that like it felt more like people were investing in a community
Hmm.
effort versus just investing in me alone. And so I feel like that helped me kind of navigate through the waters of like, this is really awkward and uncomfortable, to
Hmm.
no, this is actually supportive and beneficial, not just for us, but in, in all the spaces that I'm going to be able to go be a part of after this.
Hmm. Yeah, that's beautiful. And I know that we talked about this a little bit before, but I'd love what you had told about, sort of your, for lack of a better term, brand of yoga being one that's much more restorative yoga as opposed to a lot of this handstand yoga that we see these days. And somebody as somebody who's Indian, and obviously this is about me, everybody. I know that our guest, but we're gonna go off on a tangent and make this next segment about me. I feel like as somebody who's Indian, like a lot of things, yoga has been co-opted, by quite a few people, and to me, yoga is very, very, very much about, you know, improving your relationship and your love and your understanding of the temple that is your body, right? And I think it's just beautiful how you talked about it. And so could you sort of elaborate on that a little bit for the sake of our audience?
Yeah. Yeah, there is the whole yoga is just another workout thing, and that's definitely
Mm,
not the yoga I teach. And, um, the program I did was, was a very spiritual one. And so it was very tapped into, our body is a vessel to connect with our deeper, higher selves. And it's with that that I really approach my teaching. And because I have chronic illnesses, the pace of my classes are less about breaking a sweat and more about opening spaces in our bodies, or cleansing spaces in our body.
hmm.
And that really, that internal wisdom we have. And, there's a huge, big movement right now. People are becoming more aware of the wisdom of the body, and that it holds emotions and energy for us that our brains can't quite grasp onto sometimes. And really understanding that as a teacher and moving to those spaces. And um, not, understanding too that even when we have what we call a weakness in our body, it's really just an energetic space that's been damaged,
Hmm.
passed down in a lineage, or inherited, or done in our current, like happened to us in a
Hmm.
current life, and using yoga to then support that space. So a lot of people are like, I want to go to yoga and have a stronger core. And it's like, well, really that's just an energetic issue that's going on. You know, your core is your power. And so it's like, let's dig into what happened with that power and where is the space in
mm,
that as we're trying to build it. You're going to come against roadblock until you deal with that energetic energy first. And so it's like, we can't paint makeup on top of everything and just expect the monsters behind it to not have a voice too. It's like we have to give
mm,
space for those things as well and navigate through those. And that's where, the gift of my current program, it really comes into play with both and working one on one with me as we get to dive
mm.
into both.